Hey guys, this is Dr. Sheikh Singla. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today we are going to discuss a very important topic from the respiratory physiology, that is spirometry. So guys, first let us see this diagram. It is a very important question guys for you. So in this you can see there are different type of volumes and the different type of capacities. So first of all, let us discuss different volumes. First, what is tidal volume? So guys, tidal volume is the normal volume of the air that is expired or inspired. Okay, so guys, here you can see in this graph, where is tidal volume? This is the tidal volume. Okay, so this portion is the tidal volume, and it is about 500 ml. And you know what is the formula of tidal volume? It is 6 to 8 ml per kg, means 6 to 8 ml per kg in 50 kg patient. So what will be the tidal volume? 300 to 400 ml of the tidal volume the patient need. Okay guys, so this is the tidal volume, normal volume of the air that is expired or inspired. Next, what is IRV? IRV is the inspiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of the air which is forcefully inspired after normal tidal volume inspiration. So its value is about 3000 ml. So guys, only you have to mug up these values. Only these four values you have to mug up guys. So first is tidal volume 500 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume is about 3000 ml or 3 liters. It is the volume of the air that is forcefully inspired after normal tidal volume inspiration. So in this graph you can see here is the inspiratory reserve volume IR. So it's about this, only this. Up to this is the inspiratory reserve volume. Here you can see. Now guys, next, what is expiratory reserve volume? It is the volume that is of the air which is forcefully expired after normal tidal volume expiration. Means after tidal volume normal expiration, the volume of the air which is forcefully expired, that is known as expiratory reserve volume. It is about 1100 ml or 1.1 liter. And in this graph you can see here it is the expiratory reserve volume. So only this portion of the graph is expiratory reserve volume. So guys, these you have to mug up this spirometry and the different volumes. What are the different volumes and their values? Now, very important guys, what is residual volume? So it is the volume. It is the volume which is remained after the forceful expiration. The volume of air which is left remain in the lungs after the forceful expiration, that is known as residual volume. It is about 1200 ml. So guys, you have to mug up these four values. It is very important. So there is another term known as functional residual capacity. So there is a very major difference in the residual volume and in the functional residual capacity. Residual volume is the volume remained after forceful expiration. The volume of air which is made in the lungs after forceful expiration, that is residual volume. But functional residual capacity is the volume remained in the lungs after normal expiration. So after normal expiration, the volume remained, that is the functional residual capacity, and its formula is residual volume plus expiratory reserve volume. So you have to, it is very important guys. Direct questions are asked in the new PG exams. So total, you know what is the total functional residual capacity? Residual volume 1200 ml plus expiratory reserve volume 1100 ml. You can calculate guys. So in this graph you can see the functional residual capacity will be will be expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. So graph will be like this. So this portion, so this portion will be the functional residual capacity. Now guys, next, what is inspiratory capacity? Inspiratory capacity is the inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume, normal tidal volume. So in this graph, the inspiratory capacity will be inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So this whole graph is the only about this is the inspiratory capacity. Now guys, next, expiratory capacity. Expiratory capacity is the expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So in the graph, expiratory capacity will be expiratory reserve volume plus this tidal volume. So graph will be about this portion is the expiratory capacity. These are very important guys. Now guys, what is the forced vital capacity? Formula of the forced vital capacity is the expiratory reserve volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So it is the volume expired, the total volume expired after forceful inspiration of the air. You get it guys? The volume expired, total volume expired after forceful inspiration is known as forced vital capacity. So it is expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. So it's this whole is the vital capacity, as you can see here guys. Now next, what is time vital capacity? You guys, this is very important. Time vital capacity is the capacity which takes only total 3 seconds to take, and it is divided into the FeV1, FeV2, FeV3. Means FeV1 is the forced expiratory volume at the end of the first second. It is a forced expiratory volume at end of first second. It takes total 3 seconds, and at the end of first second, the volume which is forcefully expired is the FeV1. At the end of second is the FeV2, and the expired volume at the end of third second is the FeV3. So guys, you have to mug up these values also. What are the different percentage? In the FeV1 is about 70 to 80%, FeV2 is about 90%, and FeV3 is 98 to 100%. So guys, this is very important. You will see in my next video why this is very important. So now, so these are there are two types of expiratory flow rate guys. One is the peak expiratory flow rate and another is the mid expiratory flow rate. So guys, these are very important in the different pathology like asthma and the COPD. These are not used for the diagnosis. These are used for if we want to follow up for the success of the bronchodilator therapy. So first of all, what is peak expiratory flow rate? It is the highest velocity during the forced vital capacity. When the patient is taking the forced vital capacity, what is the when there is the highest velocity, that is the peak expiratory flow rate. It is mainly measured in the larger airways like the bronchus, and for the diagnosis of the asthma. It is very important guys, not for the diagnosis of the asthma. For in the asthmatic patient, if we want to follow the success of the bronchodilator therapy, then it is used peak expiratory flow rate. Next is the mid expiratory flow rate guys. So this mid expiratory flow rate is the average velocity during the mid portion of the expiration. So it is measured in the smaller airways like trachea, and it is used for the COPD patients. Okay guys, so you have to mug up these mid expiratory flow rate and the peak expiratory flow rate. And today for now questions, these are clinical questions, and these can be asked in you to you in any type of the question. So these are very important, guys: peak expiratory flow rate and the mid expiratory flow rate. Now guys, what is the TLC? TLC is the total lung capacity, tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume. It is a total lung capacity. So here in the graph you can see this whole portion is the total lung capacity. Okay guys, so this is the total lung capacity. Now guys, next, for the male it is 6.4 liter and for the female patient it's 4.9 liter. You have to mug up these values, very important. Now guys, you can see here this conventional spirometry can't measure force value for functional residual capacity, total lung capacity and the residual volume. So guys, this is very important. You cannot measure from these three volumes by conventional spirometry. So you have to use these three techniques to measure them. There are helium dilution method, nitrogen washout method and the body plethysmography. So this body plethysmography, guys, is the best technique to measure these three: functional residual capacity, total lung capacity and the residual volume. Okay guys, so this was a spirometry. Very important, guys. These four values you have to mug up, and how these are measured and what are these main, the definition you have to understand. What are these definitions? This is very important, guys. So this was the lecture on spirometry, guys, and in the next video I'm gonna discuss the different pathologies like obstructive lung disease and the restrictive lung disease and the approach to the spirometry, how we can diagnose these two pathologies, obstructive lung disease and the restrictive lung disease. So guys, thank you. This is Dr. Shivek Singla signing off. Bye bye.